Hey everybody, it is Thursday, and for a second there, I forgot what day it is, but that means I'm on Twitter answering your questions. So if you asked me a question using the hashtag KatieFAQ, I found it, and I read them, and I compiled 4 for you today, as well as my journal topic. Stay tuned until the end for it, because I think it's actually a really, really good one, and I like it, so I'm excited. Okay, without further ado, first question says, do you have an opinion on blind weigh-ins? I don't know if it will make me less obsessed or think the worst. My opinion really is varied. If you're in the inpatient or the hospital setting, which can be different depending on where you're at and where you're getting help. In the States, hospital can mean tube-fed and bedridden, you can't get up and you can't walk around much. Or inpatient, in my realm of what I've worked, inpatient was like we were in a house and there were, 6 to 8 girls, and you would be able to walk around and you're kind of active in that realm. If you need those levels of care, if you need to live somewhere and be somewhere 24/7 to work on your recovery, then I think blind weigh-ins are very, very necessary. Because at that point, our mind is so taken over with this nasty eating disorder, unhealthy voice that we will take that information and turn it against ourselves. So in that setting, I think blind weigh-ins are very necessary. But as we progress out and we go to IOP or outpatient, where you're just coming in for a part of the day and you're going out and you're seeing your therapist and your dietitian and all that stuff, I believe at that point you should know what you weigh and you should process it each and every session as you do weigh-ins. If you're your therapist, I would do it at the beginning of the session and we have the whole time to talk about it. And the same with your dietitian, because then you're working on your meal plan and you can actually have time to process how you feel about it. So those are my thoughts on blind weigh-ins. And I would talk to your therapist or your dietitian. If you don't like the way they're doing it, I would bring it up and, have a conversation. There's nothing wrong with talking about it. Question number 2. Do you consider eating disorder behaviors to be a form of self-injury? Why or why not? What does the DSM or general psychology say? Now, I don't consider eating disorder behaviors to be a form of self-harm unless the client or the person that we're talking about self-harmed and has stopped self-harming, has been clean from that, and now they're using their eating disorder as the way, and it never was around before. I've had some clients where that's happened, and so in those cases, I do consider the eating disorder a form of self-harm, but if they're just happening together, a lot of times it's because we lack any kind of coping skill, like I've talked about. We don't have a healthy coping skill that helps us numb out or relieve the pain or feel the pain that we're actually experiencing. So there's, that's a different reason. We're not just using one for the other or trying to use this one as a form of self-harm. I can see why you'd think that, because definitely an eating disorder is in a way a form of self-harm, but I hope that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but I don't think that if one didn't, unless one existed without the other, if we were self-harm, we didn't have an eating disorder. If we stopped self-harming, the eating disorder compensated for it, then yeah. But otherwise, no. And as far as the DSM or general psychology says, the DSM still has cutting or self-harm under BPD, borderline personality disorder. It's a subtype of that, and it kind of says hey, your patient may also do this if they have borderline. But I don't think that it only happens to those who struggle with BPD. So that's one of my frustrations with the DSM. I would assume anything I've heard, other than people who actually understand self-harm, they don't consider it part of that. Okay? And don't see the two linking. Question number 3. If I tell my college well-being advisor that my boyfriend has previously raped me, what are the consequences and what will she do? By the way, I'm 19. I think this person, I don't know if they're in the States or not, but I can only tell you what I've learned for the state of California. And for the most part, the United States as a whole has the same legal ramifications. First of all, she will encourage you, and I was going to say I would, because this is what we would do. She will encourage you to report it, because you deserve to have justice be done. He deserves to pay the price for what he did to you, because that's not right, and you're worth more than that, and it's not okay to do that to someone ever. And so she'll encourage you to reach out, to report it and stuff like that. But because you're over 18, you have to report it yourself. You have to want to. And if you don't want to, and if you decide not to, she'll probably bring it up quite a bit and try to talk you through it and get you to a point where you will report it, but she won't do anything. She's not legally bound to report that. Okay? The only reason that she might, I don't know if she'd even be able to do this, but if you're still in this relationship that where he'd raped you, the person who raped you, you're still in a relationship with him, wow, then she may encourage you to get out of the relationship or give you referrals to different kind of like houses for people who've been abused. So yeah, that would be what we have to do. Yeah, so I would tell her, I would talk about it, and it can be really good to just get it out and process through it, okay? Question number 4. How can we move past our sexual abuse and PTSD and have healthy sexual relationships when we are a virgin? Consensually anyway. It takes time. The best advice I have for this is to be very, very, very particular about who you decide to be in a relationship with. And as you work on it, you're going to have to let that person know what's happened to you in the past. Know that it's not your fault. And the people who really care about you aren't going to care about what happened. They want to make sure you're okay. And I find with many of my clients, when you find a partner who's really patient with you and loving and understands where you're coming from, they'll work with you. And you can go on to have a wonderful, loving relationship. It'll just take some time, and it'll take you maybe saying, okay, we can't do this anymore, we have to stop. And then being understanding of where you're coming from and saying, okay, you let me know when you want to try again. And all the while working with your therapist and talking about it in groups so that you can process through the PTSD/flashbacks that you're having, and working in the Courage to Heal workbook, because it's very, very helpful, and it will definitely get you through this. And know that many people struggle with this, and many people go on to have happy, healthy sexual relationships. So yeah, keep at it. It will happen. I know we want it to happen like right now, but the more open we are with those in our support system and the person that we're in a relationship with, the better it will be, okay? Now, my journal topic. I was in yoga this morning, and my yoga teacher, who I love, was saying something, and I wrote it down so I don't forget. So she said something that really stuck with me. And she said, in life we always make these drastic changes. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm only going to do that. I'm going to make a whole 180 on this. I'm going to go back and do these things better and blah, 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 right? We get very black and white, and we get real excited. Yeah. But that is really jarring to us, and it's really difficult, and it's hard to keep those changes because it's so drastic. It's almost not manageable, right? We're not really being reasonable with ourselves. And she was saying, instead of thinking in that way, try to think of yourself as a ship, and we're on the sea of life. And if you have a destination locked in, right? You're en route to some certain destination. We may only make like a 2% change, a 3% change in where we're headed, and we'll end up in a completely different place. But we've only made a really small change. So instead of making these jarring, huge decisions, let's try to make some small changes that we think we can keep, and we can keep doing and are manageable. And we'll get to a whole new place, a happier, healthier place, right? So share below and let me know, tweet it out to me, share it on Instagram, what things that you're going to do, what small changes you're going to make that you think will make the biggest change in the end and end up sending you to a much happier and healthier place. Okay? I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is finally Friday, and I will be on Facebook. So ask your questions, and I'll see you then. Bye.